right. So without further ado, we are going to be learning about cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency, the future of digital finance. So first off, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming here today. It really means a lot to us, the CryptoNoobz family. So who am I and why should you even listen to me? I'm just a guy. I'm just a regular guy, got glasses, got knocks. Who am I? Right? My name is Nelson Ricardo Strong Jr. I also go by Nelson Ricardo or NelsonRicardo.x on my social medias. I am a certified cryptocurrency expert and the founder of CryptoNoobz. We are a crypto media company and educational brand. So my story inside of crypto started in 2021 when I was looking for a new means of investing. As I was introduced to the industry, I met a whole lot of millionaires and a whole lot of venture capitalists and a whole lot of people with a whole lot of money. And I realized that there was like a crazy amount of potential within this industry. So as I was looking for a way to get into investing, I started to invest inside crypto, and I saw the magic. I saw where um, I had really insane turnarounds with money that I would have invested inside of projects within a small time frame. So that's why I would have initially gotten into crypto. I was just looking for new ways to invest. More about me is that I have actually worked for the Bahamas government inside of digital transformation. So a lot of like new tech inside the Bahamas that was actually me and my team, and this was underneath the office of the Prime Minister, as well as I also worked for the central bank, directly with the central bank digital currency, the Sand Dollar. So I also came back from a tech background with a bachelor's in computer information systems. And I am currently a tech educator, a content creator, as well as a investor. A little bit more about CryptoNoobz. We are trying to normalize crypto, especially here in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Our goal is for people to understand what crypto truly is and what it could really do for you. So, what is the problem? I like starting things off to identifying the problem before we could look for solutions. So the problem with money today is that there are way too many middlemen, right? So when you want to say send money from bank A to bank B, you realize that a lot of banks sometimes their fees are getting expensive. The reason for that, especially with these transfers, is that there are a lot of different middlemen that take from your transactions while they are going from point A to point B. So payments pass through banks and processes, making them slow and costly. There's limited access to banking for a lot of people. Billions are unbanked and excluded from the global financial system. Even here, as I said, I am from the Bahamas, right? Inside of the Bahamas, we have one main island called Nassau, where there's like a whole load of banks and banking is relatively easy. However, we have a whole bunch of surrounding islands, the family islands, that actually have issues with being underbanked. There's like ATMs that are that probably like every once a month get service, and then when the money runs out, the money runs out. Then you have the problems of trying to get the money to the islands. What a lot of Bahamians don't know is that we actually have to actually put cash on a plane, and when we get the cash on that plane, we have to fly it out to the islands. And that's one of the reasons why on a lot of the family islands, that's what we call them, those outer islands, they take a really long time to get cash to their ATMs and banking systems. So for a good while, a lot of people on the islands don't really have that means of cash flow. and many of them don't really have access to banks. So now what they do is they hold their monies inside of safes and under their beds and inside of their houses. But the problem with that is that now the money is vulnerable to being attacked and being stolen from other people. Next, you see we have lack of transparency. There's a lot of hidden fees and unclear processes that you never really see how your money is really moving. Now you have also centralized control, right? Although a lot of people understand that banks are like this great institution that helps you out and all that good stuff. Mind you, there are some benefits to banks, but you also have to understand that with banks, they can also freeze and control your money. So, for example, I know what it is to go on a vacation to Cuba and I want to use my debit card. But because I'm using my debit card outside of my country, now there's a block on it. Now I understand that there are some security reasons around it as well. But it's a really interesting situation where I now have to call my bank to hopefully get access to money that's already mine. You see how this could be a problem because if, say, I can't connect to my bank immediately, or say, I, or say, there's some sort of miscommunication where I can't, where the bank teller or whoever I'm speaking with doesn't believe me that it's my card or whatever, right? Now I do not have access to my own money. Not to mention that at any point, the bank could always freeze your money if they feel as if that you might be not be the person that you say you are. And some people find that limiting. Next, we have the biggest issue going on with the dollar, with all dollars, which is inflation. Over time, the money is losing its value. Back in the day, you went to a grocery store with $100, your $100 could actually fill up your grocery cart. Nowadays, you go to a grocery store with about $100, you probably get about 5 to 7 items, and it's noticeable. So, what is cryptocurrency? What is this weird thing that we've been talking about? Cryptocurrency is digital or virtual money that exists only in an electronic form. It is not controlled by any government or bank, just code, math, and community. It uses special computer code called cryptography to keep transactions secure. You could think of it like a digital form of cash that you could send directly to anyone in the world. Now, this is not to be confused with, say, your debit or your credit card or things like that, right? Because those are more digital representations of the cash that you have within a bank. This is actual digital money. This is the actual money in a digital form. So, a real world example of cryptocurrency, right? Let's say that we want to send some money to a friend. The traditional way is you would send from your bank would go through a whole bunch of different intermediaries, right? Sometimes even other banks. And then finally, it would go to your friend's bank. Now, this process is the usual way where this is normal and regular for many of us, but we also understand that it does take a couple days. And if you are doing banking with someone else's bank and there are two different banks, you would notice that there are significant fees as well. Not to mention that there's more fees based on how much money you're sending most of the time. With cryptocurrency, now whatever money I want to send to any of one of my friends, it does not matter where my friend is in the world, they're going to get that money within a few minutes. It's not even a few minutes, and minutes is me being modest. What I want to say is seconds, but you know, I just want to be modest with it, so I'm going to say a few minutes, right? The fees are minimal. It is possible with cryptocurrency to send over $1 million for a fee of $10. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I could send $1 million to you for a fee of about $10, 20 if we're being expensive. And that is possible. So now we're seeing that it opens up a whole new lane for transactions around the world. Also, something that I would have forgotten to mention at the beginning, right? This presentation is meant to be just a beginner's level introduction to cryptocurrency to understand how it works. This is not to be taken as financial advice. This is just for purely educational purposes. All right. With that being said, let's continue. So you might have heard about this before. This is Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? You might have heard about it. You heard Trump probably say it. You probably heard some government officials, big time institutions. You probably heard it on commercials. Bitcoin. Everyone wants Bitcoin. Why do people want Bitcoins? And what is it? So, Bitcoin is the first and most well known cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was first created in 2009 by someone called Satoshi Nakamoto, right? So, Satoshi Nakamoto, we do not know who the actual identity of Satoshi Nakamoto is. We do not know if this is one person or group of people. All we know is that after the 2008 global financial crisis, in 2009, someone would have come up with this idea of a digital payment system. And that person had the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Bitcoin was that digital system, this digital system that allows people to transact across the world without the need of any sort of government or bank. It's basically a coded form of money that runs on this particular network, and anyone could have access to the network, and anyone could transact on the network, and the network maintains itself. Now, not only that, unlike the dollar, it solves the problem of the inflating dollar because it is deflationary. Deflationary meaning that it only grows in price. After this webinar, I would like to very much encourage you guys to go to a website called Coin Market Cap. All right, it's called Coin Market Cap, and tap the Bitcoin. Basically, it's a website that shows you the trend of different cryptocurrencies, and tap Bitcoin. If you was to see Bitcoin from it first launched in 2009 all the way up to right now, you would see it has like a line just going straight up, just continuing to gain value while the dollar is losing value. I think the US dollar loses about 2% of its value each year, right? Now, it is also currently the most valuable and the most widely accepted cryptocurrency. People are accepting Bitcoin all around the world. You could go to Asia, they're accepting Bitcoin. You could go to El Salvador, they're accepting Bitcoin. You could go to Dubai, they're accepting Bitcoin. So more and more people are accepting Bitcoin, but still, it is still early. Why? Because only probably about 5 to 8% of the world understands cryptocurrency. So there is so much potential within this world, within this industry. Not to mention, this is not a million, not a billion, but this is $1 trillion industry. So how does Bitcoin work? This is the very simple version. We're not going to go with too much of the technicalities inside of this presentation, but I just want to make sure that you guys have a general understanding of how it works. So first and foremost, if it is a digital currency, what you're going to need is something to hold said digital currency. What do you use to hold your currency? A wallet. So now you would get a digital wallet, or you would get a digital wallet app or a crypto exchange. So The digital wallet app would be like your own personal wallet where you could do a couple things with. You could swap tokens, and some wallets allow you to trade within them, or a crypto exchange. A crypto exchange would be something almost like a bank for crypto. It's a huge marketplace, lots of money within it. So you know that you could get your payouts, you could swap, you could do. That's where most people do their trading. That's where people actually go and trade their cryptocurrencies. You could borrow money, you could get loans, you could do a lot of things with a crypto exchange, right? So now, when you either have your wallet or your crypto exchange, right? What you would do is you would have a public address. These wallets or these exchanges come with an address that you could use to give to your friends, and basically they can now send you crypto, or you could get your friends' address and send them cryptocurrency. So that's the basic version of how Bitcoin and crypto in general works. But let's dig a bit deeper, right? The underlying network that crypto runs on is called the blockchain. You're going to hear this word come up a lot as you venture more into this crypto space, the blockchain, right? It is a digital ledger. It's like this digital book that shows every single transaction. If I'm looking for a transaction that I would have made years ago, I could now find it with this blockchain. Why? Because it is a transparent ledger, right? What I want you to think of it like a Google sheet. It is a Google sheet that records every single transaction. If you've used Google Sheets, you would know that if two people are on a Google Sheet, as one person updates the sheet, the next person will be able to see in real time that person updating the sheet. That's how the blockchain is. Like, if somebody is making a transaction, I could see in real time, hey, that person made that transaction. If I made a transaction, I'll be able to see in real time that I made that transaction. It is shown, it is basically transparent and shown to everyone. The difference is that they're not going to show your name. It is also pseudonymous, not anonymous, but pseudonymous. Pseudonymous means that they will actually have like what they would show is like a string of different numbers and letters, right? They're not going to show your name or anything like that. They'll show the string of different numbers and letters. That would be your public key. I won't go into too much of the technicalities as I said, but that would be your public key. So once you know your public key, you will be able to look for that and search it up. You get two keys for all of your crypto. You get a public key and a private key. The public key works like your bank account number. Um, as we say, most people don't really know their bank account numbers, but they know that once they then put it inside the system, they could just go and use it. Crypto works kind of in that way. With a public key, that is an address that you would be able to search up your transactions. With your private key, that is basically the PIN number to your crypto. If someone has access to your private key, they have access to your crypto. So that's just something to keep in mind. We won't focus on that right now today, but that's just something to keep in mind. Going back to what is the blockchain. So the blockchain cannot be changed and it cannot be hacked. That's the thing. This is a network that is maintained by millions of computers. To hack the blockchain, you need the computing power of several countries. That's like, when I say several countries, I mean everybody within the country is all working for the sole purpose of hacking Bitcoin's blockchain. You can't even get 10 people in a room to agree to the same thing, let alone get several million people all focused on hacking that. It is maintained by all the computers around the world. The computers that are attached to the chain are all running like this mathematical basically they are solving different puzzles. not to get into too much of the technicalities, but they're solving different puzzles, and it's the computers that would be running that would automatically be basically maintaining the network, verifying every transaction, making sure transactions are real, as well as protecting against hackers. If a hacker was to attempt to hack the blockchain, they can't do it because you have to attack several million computers all at the same time, which is highly impossible. It is completely transparent, and it's the network that crypto runs on. So that is your tech lesson for the blockchain. So right here, I have miners and validators, right? So give me a second. Miners and validators. So as I was saying, the computers would be the ones to actually be maintaining the network. So miners are these are people or computers on the blockchain that verify transactions. They don't get to choose what happens. They follow the rules set by the code. Their job is to keep the system fair, secure, and running smoothly, and they are rewarded for maintaining the network. So just a little bit more about miners and validators, or you might have heard about crypto mining, right? If I have my computer running to help the blockchain to work efficiently, and I am mining Bitcoin. So that's what it is. Basically, my computer is maintaining the network, and by me allowing my computer to maintain the network, I could possibly be rewarded based on how strong my computer is and all that good stuff, right? And when I am rewarded in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, because other cryptocurrencies also do mining as well. So now this is another means how some people um, create passive income. I myself have mined before several times, and I have seen where you just leave the computer to run. You don't need to do anything or what's not, and it would actually pay you for running it. Now, a caveat is Bitcoin mining at this particular stage. You have to be several $1 million. You have to have like several $1 million to do Bitcoin mining, but you could still mine other cryptocurrencies for far cheaper. Misconceptions about cryptocurrency. A lot of people think crypto is a get rich quick scheme. Some people think that crypto is just a scam. Some people think that crypto is not real money. Some people think that it has no value. Some people think that only criminals use it. Some people think that it's only for techies or finance bros. Like you have to be super tech savvy to be able to get into crypto. And then some people think crypto is only for investing. And these could not be farther from the truth. What crypto really is, right? Just like any financial system, there's risk and reward. The key is education and not hype. Scams exist around crypto, but just like with emails and phones and banks, but the technology itself is not a scam. Crypto is digital money backed by code and global consensus, not governments. So with crypto, you could actually buy groceries and you could pay for services and you could even fund startups. You could actually pay people in crypto and people could actually pay you in crypto. And what I like about that is that when you actually get paid in crypto, you can still change it back into cash anytime you want, like at a later date, right? But if you keep your money inside crypto, your money now appreciates. You feel me? It mind you, it could go down to, we're not gonna lie here, but there's still a chance that your money can appreciate. You got paid $1,000, but guess what? By the end of this week, you didn't touch your $1,000. Your $1,000 is now 1,200. You know. Next, the value of crypto actually comes from supply and demand and global trust. So a lot of the value of crypto comes from its supply and demand and how much people feel as if this cryptocurrency could actually help. Another thing is also utilities. Some cryptocurrencies come with particular utilities, and I won't go too deep inside of that for right now. But yeah, some cryptocurrencies come with particular utilities. Next, most crypto use today is legit, right? And the blockchain is actually more transparent than cash. Even governments use blockchain for tracking and auditing. So just like how we earlier said that crypto is only used by criminals, right? Man, the people inside the government, the major banks are now accepting crypto and trying to integrate crypto into the banking system. And you could research this, you could Google it. You know, we now have President Donald Trump talking about a Bitcoin reserve, and he already has his cryptocurrencies. You have the country of El Salvador; they already then switched totally into using Bitcoin. Like, and they went from just being not really having a lot of money to now they are a very wealthy country because they switched to using Bitcoin. So a lot of people have are investing into this. Next, um, people, teachers, artists, drivers, parents, creators, anyone can use crypto. So crypto is not just for you if you are just a tech savvy person or whatnot. You don't have to be a tech savvy person, and it's becoming easy to use by the day. All right. So I encourage you, if you are a regular person, go and try it out, see it for yourself, see how it works. Right. Finally, it is $1 trillion market. You could send money worldwide. You could earn passive income. Yes, legit passive income. You can make payments and shop. You can there's still a lot of creations and new innovations within the crypto space, and it has high in demand jobs. So we'll be going into the jobs part a bit later in this presentation. But I must say, if this is a small industry and they need people who really know their stuff, and you are a person who knows about crypto, there's going to be a demand for you if you're looking for new employment. So here I just have this so here I just have this graphic that just shows some of the different places that accept cryptocurrency. You might see a couple brands that you're familiar with. Over here we have Subway, we have Burger King, we have Domino's, we have AT&T, we have places like Microsoft, we have PlayStation down there, Xbox. As you see, the ecosystem of accepting crypto is, especially Bitcoin, is growing every day. More and more people are becoming a part of it. More and more people are trying to understand it, and new innovations are happening within it. What I'd like to remind everyone on this presentation, this is still a growing industry. You are early. With being an early adopter, you would be positioning yourself to know more about this industry. And when it does take off and when it does become more mainstream, you'll be far ahead of everyone because you would have already been positioned. You've already been straight. You already then know your stuff. And now you then either have your jobs or have your systems and you then making your money. Speaking of money, I know a lot of this was a question that I know a lot of people wanted to know, right? So, okay, cool. You then went on the exchange or you already then use your wallet, you buy your crypto. All right. But I want to still be able to change my crypto back into cash. Now, before I even go inside all of this, I want you guys to understand that we are encouraging you to use the money in a digital way. You know, cash itself is inflating, so cash is inflating. The buying power of dollars are definitely going down, especially the US dollar. You know, we got the trade war and all this good stuff going on, and we don't know where things are gonna go, right? Once again, this is not financial advice, but this is just like a heads up. you know. This is appreciating money versus depreciating money. So 4 ways to cash out, because you might still want your dollars, right? So you could go to a crypto exchange and you could sell your crypto on the platform like Binance or Coinbase, and you could just withdraw it to your bank account. So basically, on from the crypto exchange, you would be able to just send it directly to your bank account via like a wire transfer. All right. So then there's also crypto debit cards, but also what I would have forgot to put here is just regular debit cards as well. So you could use cards from crypto.com or Binance. Another honorable mention I'd like to put in would be red.pay, because they actually have a digital debit card that you could sign up for. It's pretty easy. Once you then sign up for the digital debit card, you could use your crypto just like you could spend your crypto just like you would spend regular cash from your card. All right. And the same way, I would also like to add in regular debit cards. You could actually send your crypto directly to your regular debit card or your regular yeah, your regular card, and then it'll just, show up as I have X amount of dollars on my card and I can just spend it as is. Peer to peer. A major benefit of crypto is you do not need banks. You do not need another institution to be able to get your money or what's not. With peer to peer, right? I have here, you can sell your crypto directly to others on platforms like Binance, P2P, or Paxful and get paid via bank transfer or cash, right? One of the things that I've personally done is I could now go to some of my friends within the industry and I could just say, hey, yo, I want to sell you this crypto. I need some cash. And that's what they do. They just give, I would give them the crypto and they would just give me the cash. That is now something regular. That's just something that we can now do, right? Even inside of our CryptoNoobz group, we have a particular person that we go to who is able to get us the cash if we need it, right? So now you could just go to your friends and just swap it. You could just say, hey, I have $1,000 worth of USDT. I need $1,000 in cash. And you could just go to your friend who might have that $1,000. They just send it to your bank, or they just might give it to you in cash, and you could just send them the USDT. That's a USDT is a crypto that is pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar, by the way. Finally, there are online stores where you could actually just go and spend your crypto. You could buy gift cards and spend it. Sites like Bit Refill or BitPay to buy Amazon, Visa, or other gift cards with crypto. You could even buy items with crypto as well. As I said earlier, I have a friend who bought his iPhone using crypto. So crypto's impact on the world. It allows banking for the unbanked. 1.7 billion people have no access to banks. You can use crypto with just a phone. That's all you need, just your phone. Yes, nowadays, with some accounts, you have to give in some KYC and what's not. But originally, that it wasn't like that. And there are still lots that the whole purpose of crypto was to not need the banks. And there are still lots of apps that you do not need to give in your personal information to be able to access your crypto. Next, we have international money transfers. It's fast and cheaper than traditional methods. There is no middleman needed. And then there is financial innovation. There's new ways to lend and borrow money. There's automated financial services. There's enhanced privacy and global accessibility and opportunities for new investment and wealth creation. Because we got to be real, we have to be real. There are challenges and risks to cryptocurrency. In everything, we want to be honest. We want to show you that there are lots of goods, but you need to understand the cons as well. Despite their potential, cryptocurrencies can face challenges such as price volatility, regulatory uncertainty and security risks, cyber attack scams, and environmental impact of mining also pose significant concerns. Addressing these issues is crucial for long-term stability. The industry is being built before our eyes. You have to understand that the price of cryptocurrency does fluctuate. It does go up, it does go down. Last year, Bitcoin would have been far less than $70,000. Now Bitcoin is 80K, right? We are hoping that it will soon pass the. We are hoping that the next time that it passes the 100K mark, it'll be on its track to 200K, right? But understand that certain things can happen where it can go down. The demand can go down, but usually it comes right back up. Regulatory uncertainty. Some countries and some banks still have an issue with crypto, and we see that here inside of the Bahamas. Some banks are very crypto friendly, others are not. You can't use them. And, obviously there are security risks, there are cyber attacks, and there are scams. One of the reasons for CryptoNoobz is we want to educate people, to protect the people as well. We understand that there are a lot of scams within the crypto industry, well, within finance on the whole. And, as a person, I myself have been a victim of scams before. So I've definitely resonate with trying to protect people from scams if we see it coming. Now, as promised on the flyer, ways to make money in crypto, the actual ways to make money, right? We have several here. We have HODL, which means hold on for their life, right? We have hodling, we have trading, we have NFTs, we have gaming, we have mining, we have staking, and we have yield farming, right? These are some of the ways that you can make money with crypto, well, basically by yourself. So ways to make money with crypto continue. Hodling, holding on for their life, right? This is where you basically buy and hold cryptocurrencies long hold, hoping long term, hoping that their value increases over time, like investing in digital gold. If you had invested in crypto, if you had invested in Bitcoin in 2021 when they had the FTX crash, right? I think it was 2021. But if you had invested in Bitcoin after the FTX crash, Bitcoin would have gone all the way down to $16,000. $16,000. That's the amount of a car. That was either 2021 or 2022. I think it was 2021. It is now 2025. Bitcoin is at $80,000. Imagine being able to put in $16,000 and within about a 3-4 year span, that $16,000 turned into 80K. Long-term holds, a lot of people have actually became crypto millionaires just by holding their crypto for really long times. You do not have to be a trader. One of the things that I try to stress to people, you do not have to be a trader to make money in crypto. You do not have to. You have to find what is your area of expertise, what is your area that you feel comfortable with, and that's how you make money. All right. Next is trading, what a lot of people know about. It's basically when you buy and sell high. I mean, when you buy low and sell high within short time frames, using charts and price movements to make profit, but it requires skills and timing. So, understanding trading. Trading is how a lot of people do make some good money. I'm not going to lie, you can make some really good money from trading. But the catch is that it takes about 6 months to become just a decent trader. It takes about 6 months of consistent work and gaining that skill. Trading is a skill. The good side of that skill is that you have about you going in with like a 50% chance that you might be right in whatever trade you take. There's a 50% chance that you're gonna be right, right? But with trading, You can make some good money from trading or what's not, but it is a skill you have to develop. You have to hone. It's like a muscle. We have a particular trader within our cryptocurrency group, great trader, and he's consistently tells us, listen, it is a muscle. You have to hone it. And then you have mining. Mining is where you could get your different computers, your cell phones, your different devices, and you could just let it run to help maintain whatever blockchain. And basically, it will give you money in return from letting your computer run and maintain the blockchain. So when you're not using your computer, you could just let it run, let it mine, and maintain that blockchain, and you could get money for it. Staking is where you lock up your crypto to support a blockchain network and you earn rewards over time. It's similar to like when you keep money inside of a bank and a bank would give you interest for keeping your savings with them. That's how staking works. Yield farming. Now, staking is low risk. It's low risk, low reward, but it is rewards. That is passive income, no cap, right? Mining is also passive income. Hodling is also passive income. Trading is definitely not passive income. You got to be, well, kind of passive income. Depends on how you're trading. That yield farming. So yield farming is where you would lend or deposit crypto to decentralized platforms. DeFi means decentralized finance platforms, right? To earn high returns, but it comes with more risk and volatility. So basically, it's like you are loaning out your crypto for the platform or people on the platform to make more money with the crypto, but it's more high risk because now they have to actually make the money. And there are platforms that will actually give you a little bit more security in who you're lending the money out to, but still that person got to come back with a profit for you to profit. You feel me? Next, crypto and gaming. In crypto, you can actually play video games and earn rewards from playing the video games. You could actually earn cryptocurrency from playing games. This is actually how some people would have made a good bit of money in some of the earlier days, and some people are still doing this now. Just for playing the game and being a consistent player, the game rewards you with in-game currency as cryptocurrency. Finally, NFTs. Some people might have known NFTs from a couple of years ago when there was that whole big NFT bubble. Everybody wanted to create like these digital artworks and sell them for like these enormous prices and all of that good stuff. So with NFTs, it stands for non-fungible token. Basically, it means like a very unique digital asset, right? You could create it, you could buy it, and you could sell it, like your art and your music, right? If I was to create a painting and I was to put it on the blockchain, I can now sell it on the blockchain. That's basic. And through resales, even through resales or people using it, I would even gain royalties. Now, exchanges. Where can you buy and sell crypto? Exchanges, as I said, they are something like banks. This is where you go to actually, purchase your crypto, where you go to trade your crypto, where you go to swap your crypto, get crypto loans, give out crypto loans. These are exchanges. Now, the exchanges that I would have listed here are centralized exchanges. There are two types of exchanges, centralized and decentralized. For this presentation, we're just going to focus on centralized because these are regulated exchanges. They come with some level of security, some level of insurance. We have Coinbase. It's best for beginners. It's an easy to use interface and strong security. Next, we have Binance. Binance is the exchange that we personally recommend because it is the world's largest exchange. It has more trading options if you are a trader. It has the lowest fees out of those that are presented inside of this presentation, and it has the most liquidity. It actually has a lot of money. So if anything wrong was to happen, you actually know that you're getting your money back, you know. Next, we have Kraken. So Kraken is another exchange. It has good security, it has excellent customer service, and it is available in many countries. This is just a little, these are just three examples of exchanges. Now, one of the things that as you get to learn more about crypto, you're going to learn that even though with exchanges, they are very good, you do not keep your money simply on an exchange unless you're doing something with it on that exchange, either giving a loan, staking, yield farming, trading. You do not keep your money on exchange because just like FTX several years ago, we learned that exchanges could also go down. Now, every single time an exchange is going down and everybody was yelling, crypto is done for, it's going to fail and all that good stuff. Guess what? Crypto bounced right back. But we do not want to take that risk. So we do not keep our monies on an exchange unless it has a purpose being there. So where do we hold our money? We hold our money in wallets. Now, these are some of the different wallets that you could hold crypto in. You see here, Trust Wallet. All of these you could find on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple Store. I just want to go back to the exchanges. Their apps can be found on the Google Play Store and the App Store. I mean, the Apple App Store. Right? So first we have the Trust Wallet, 70 plus blockchains and 1,000 cryptos. So this wallet can accept multiple types of cryptos, but it is mobile only. It has a built-in swap. So a swap is basically, it gives you the ability to swap your crypto. Like I want to swap a Bitcoin for a crypto called XRP and vice versa. It allows staking, which is, allowing your crypto to be held by the exchange so that they could, make some money and maintain the network and all that good stuff. And all of these are non-custodial. Non-custodial. That is a very important phrase for your wallets. Once again, the whole point of crypto is to control your money. You are being your own bank. You have full control over your money. Non-custodial wallets are where you own your private and public keys. Remember when I talked about that earlier? These are the address to your cryptocurrency and the PIN to access them. You own it. With those exchanges, you don't necessarily own your keys. The exchange own your keys. So similar to banks, how banks actually own your money. On technicality, banks own your money. So anything happens to the bank or what's not, your money could go. Now, yes, banks have some insurance. There is some insurance. We're not gonna lie, but technically that money is not yours if they have access to it like that. With these wallets, you own the private key and you own the public key. So no one could touch your money unless you give it to them. You have the Exodus wallet. It goes on desktop and mobile. It has an in-app hardware wallet support. So we're not going to go over hardware wallets inside of this presentation, but how hardware wallets are basically um, these wallets where you would send cryptocurrency inside of something like a USB drive, right? And now that cryptocurrency is off the internet. So now that brings like the highest level of security to your cryptocurrency. No one could scam you out of it or what's not because your crypto is dormant within your USB, basically. So Exodus has 260 cryptos. It has a built-in swap and it's also non-custodial. Then we also have Now Wallet. It allows 500 plus cryptos. It's mobile only, and it has a built-in swap. So these are different wallets that you could download, so that you could actually store your cryptos. Yes, you could also purchase cryptos from within these wallets. But one of the reasons why I prefer to purchase using an exchange rather a wallet is because I'm in the Bahamas. Sometimes these wallets would have like third-party businesses that allow you to be able to purchase. And sometimes they don't really accept people from the Bahamas. So that's one of the reasons why what I usually do, I just buy my cryptocurrency from the exchange and just send it to my wallet. For the business owners, I tell y'all I was going to be looking out for y'all. How to accept crypto payments for businesses. Now, as we would have talked about with the wallet situation, now that you have a wallet, you have access to accepting digital payments. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. You now have access to accepting digital payments. You do not need to go to the bank to get the credit card scanner and things like that if you do not want to. You could actually just say, hey, I also accept Bitcoin. And you could now have customers from all around the world who now want to pay you for your services or your products in Bitcoin. And not only is it that you could use those wallets, because remember, all of these wallets, all of these exchanges have a public address where you just need to give the public address to whoever you need to send it to, and they can just send you the cryptocurrency. Now, the reason why I included these two, we have Red.Pay. Red.Pay is a very popular one. Basically, you could send it to a Red.Pay account, and now you would actually have Red.Pay gives you a digital debit card where now you could spend your crypto with ease. That's why I actually like the idea of Red.Pay. They also have the option of you buying a physical um, Red.Pay debit card. So now when I send crypto to you, if you have a Red.Pay wallet, now you could just spend your crypto like regular cash by the swipe of a card or just by punching in your numbers. Nowpayments.io. This one I wanted to give for those who have business websites. So with nowpayments.io, you could actually attach your wallet to Now Payments. And what it does is you would have now a button on your website, and the button would be like, okay, purchase in Bitcoin. Click. Now your object costs $23 in Bit. Your product costs $23 in Bitcoin. All right, cool. Now the Bitcoin comes from my wallet, and I just send it to your wallet. So this is a really good thing. This is what I wanted to give to a lot of business owners to empower them. You know, making money in crypto does not have to mean that you have to trade it and do a whole bunch of things. You could make money in crypto simply by doing what you love to do. Last night inside of our group, we had a group live call. We have like bi-weekly live group calls, right? And the person speaking, the speaker for the last night actually talked about, listen, if you want to be wealthy, because they're already wealthy, they well past seven figures. If you want to be wealthy, just do what you love. And that really resonated with me personally, because in crypto, a lot of people think that you have to be a big time trader, you have to be a big time investor, you have to a whole lot of money. Where really and truly, bro, all you have to do is you could just dollar cost average. Dollar cost average means that every other month I just put $100 inside of this particular cryptocurrency that I want to buy, or however much, spread it however much ways I want to spread it into whatever cryptocurrencies, right? For example, Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin has a history of going all the way up. Okay, cool. Bitcoin is at 80,000 right now. There's a high, strong chance, a very strong chance that Bitcoin has been at 100K before. There's a strong chance it's going back there. Okay, cool. Every month, I'm just putting in $100 into Bitcoin, $100 into Bitcoin, $100 into Bitcoin. And I do that for at least 3 to 4 years. So my money is compounding while Bitcoin is appreciating. So now, several years into the future, my money is looking good. Lord help us if Bitcoin really has a huge spike, which it probably will, where it actually isn't at just 100K, now it's at 200K in the next 3 years. The lowest of Bitcoin is 238K. But I was investing inside of Bitcoin from it was at 80K. Who win? And then not only that, not only was I investing in Bitcoin, dollar cost averaging, but my business, whatever it is, I sell tacos. I was accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. So now my customers are paying me inside of Bitcoin while I'm saving my Bitcoin. You win. Next, job opportunities. This is another thing that a lot of people are not have not really understood or grasped about the crypto industry. This is a still emerging industry where there's not enough talent to suffice for the industry. So basically, anyone who understands cryptocurrency and has the bare minimum skills can get really good paying jobs once they understand it. Now, the caveat is this: you have to have the skills. Okay, you have to have skills. You have to skill. You have to level up. All right. A lot of, especially nowadays, because we not only in CryptoNoobz, we not only teach cryptocurrency, we also teach emerging technologies. And a part of emerging technologies is AI. And I'll be honest, I've been playing with AI. I've been seeing it. Just the other night, one of my friends showed me an AI customer service rep, and it sounded very real. And any questions I asked it, it answered. Understand that you have to level up, you have to skill up. All right. We will be helping you guys with that as well. But that's just to say, crypto job opportunities, people are looking for people who understand crypto. You see, these are two sites I would have given you: cryptojobslist.com and cryptocurrencyjobs.co. All right. So both of these websites, they are looking for people like different managers, compliance officers, marketers, like you name it, crypto needs it. Almost every regular job opportunity, just add that plus crypto. Now, especially if you are a coder or a developer, if you are interested in coding or developing, let me tell you right now, people in crypto are fiending. They are fighting for developers because there's so much technology, there's so much that needs to be built. They are looking for that. And just know that with crypto, getting a job with upwards from 50 K in USD is normal and regular. That is normal and regular. And that is me being modest because most of these jobs be starting at 100K, 100K a year, 200K a year, 300K a year. And really and truly, all you have to do is just understand crypto and be able to do the same management or supervisory things you was doing inside your regular jobs. Once you add crypto on it, one of our group members would have given us a story about how someone was being paid great money, good money, and all it was just doing is just being like a community manager. So their job was literally, I just got to keep the WhatsApp group talking. That was literally their job. That was literally their job. There's a lot of opportunities within this space. Do your research. We encourage research in CryptoNoobz. We encourage you to ask questions. We encourage you to do these things. Next, scams. Now, many of you might know me because I was one of the persons who called out a very widely known scam that affected the Caribbean earlier in this year. And these are some of the reasons why I was able to pinpoint that it was a scam, because scams happen often inside of crypto. The reason being is since it is an emerging technology and not a lot of people understand it, scammers understand that since you don't get it and we get it, I could now just use some buzzwords to try to get your money. And if you put your money inside crypto, that makes it all the more easier, you know, because now that's basically how a lot of scammers are operating. So we have phishing scams. So a phishing scam is when people would send you fake emails or websites to trick you into revealing your wallet keys or your login info. You have pump and dump schemes where scammers hype up a coin, they inflate its price and then sell it off and leave others with losses. So not every new popular crypto you should be buying. In fact, one of the golden rules of crypto is by times people catch on that it's a popular crypto, that's time to start selling. If you did not already have that coin, it's time to start selling. You also have rug pulls where developers promote a crypto project, they raise money, and then they disappear with the funds. So with both pump and dump schemes and rug pulls, they mimic Ponzi schemes. If you see someone is really hyping something up and they're trying to get you to buy fast and all of that good stuff, that's the time when you need to slow down, you need to ask questions. Do your research. We actually have a phrase inside of crypto called Dior, do your own research. You need to be researching. This is very much an industry where you get further ahead the more you research, the more you go on Google, use ChatGPT, ask it some questions, research. Fake giveaways. Scammers sometimes pretend to be famous people and companies offering free crypto if you send some first. This is actually one of the ways, not really the fake giveaway, but that's actually how I would have gotten scammed myself. Um, a person posed as someone as a crypto influencer that I just came from talking with, and they would have scammed me out of some good money. Oh no, that would actually come under the impersonation scams. Impersonation scams where scammers pose as trusted figures in DMs or groups asking for money or sensitive info. Basically, if any part of your mind feels as if this could be a scam and they are asking for a little bit too much information or trying to get you or they're really trying to push you to do a particular task, nudging you a little bit too much, you need to leave it alone. If it sounds too good to be true, start investigating. Start investigating. Now, common scams continued, and these are the ways how you could protect yourself from these scams. From phishing scams, what you got to do is you got to watch out for suspicious links, fake wallet sites, and login pages. Now, to stay safe, you always type your URLs yourself, you use bookmarks, and you enable two-factor authentication. For pump and dump schemes or Ponzi schemes, as I said, it mimics a lot of Ponzi's. Sudden hype around unknown coins inside your Telegram or your Discord or your TikTok, or even like YouTube, right? You do not fear of missing out in. That's what FOMO means, fear of missing out. Do not rush to anything in crypto. Do not rush to anything unless it is a highly trusted source. And even then, I'd say don't rush to anything. Do your research first. Always do your research. Rug pulls is when new tokens with anonymous developers, no audits or projects push you to buy fast. If I cannot see who is the CEO, the CFO, the CMO, if I cannot find information on the company that is detailed, I am not investing in it. You need to check the team. You need to check the white paper. A white paper is basically every crypto comes with like a white paper that's basically the rules and the purpose of said paper of the said cryptocurrency. Avoid projects without locked liquidity. Fake giveaways, right? So watch out for if I send you one Bitcoin, you get one. If I send you 0.1 Bitcoin, you will get one whole Bitcoin back, right? Anybody who is trying to give away free money, you need to be asking why. That's the thing. Now in crypto, we do have airdrops. We do have airdrops, right? But even with airdrops, you need to be on Twitter and you need to understand, okay, what is the reason for this airdrops? You realize I didn't put that on this presentation because I feel like that's a little bit more intermediary or at least a bit more advanced. You can make good money from airdrops, but you got to be able to tell what is a real airdrop from what is a fake airdrop or scam. And finally, impersonation scams. Donald Trump is not going to message you saying that you want he wants to give you crypto. Well-known figures are not just going to pop up inside your chat saying that, hey, I want to give you these crypto. From you see that someone is really famous or really well known and things like that, just trying to give you something, you need to be asking questions. So these are just some general safety tips. We are around the end of our presentation. These are just some general safety tips. You should never share your private keys or any of your passwords or seed phrases. I just have private keys here, but private keys are just basically access to your crypto. You should never share that. It's like the PIN for your bank account. If you was to give away your PIN to your bank account number to everybody, basically they would have access to your bank account and your funds. You should always use strong passwords and use different passwords for different sites. Get a book. This is what a lot of people do. They get a book and they write down their passwords inside of that book. Get a book, write down your passwords, and then if it's crypto, there's sometimes these seed phrases, like these randomly generated 12-word phrases that you need to get inside of like your crypto account, right? You write them down inside of a book and you only use that book to access them. You don't store it digitally, you write it down in the book. Next, enable two-factor authentication. That saves you a lot of times. Using your thumb to scan, using your face to scan, putting in that extra code, that saves you. That really saves you. Understand, as I said, crypto is a $1 trillion industry. And the same way how you're trying to get money, other people are also trying to get money. So you actually have to be, you know, pretty walled up, pretty protected, right? Next, research before investing. You have to actually research whatever projects. If you want to invest inside of a crypto coin, I'd recommend, this is just my personal recommendation, not financial advice. You not only you research that coin, and it has to be a coin that you truly believe is going to go up. And you have to be able to give reasoning. Why is that going to go up? Why do you think that this coin is going to go up? Did you look at the charts and did you watch the trend of that coin? Do you think that business is going to be big for the industry? Why is it that you want to invest inside that coin? Next, start small. Do not overpay. Do not pay more money that you're willing to lose. Whatever money that you put inside crypto, always have that in the back of your mind. I am willing to lose this money. Okay. Yes, you very high chances that you could gain, but you have to always have that in the back of your mind. I'm willing to lose this amount. Whatever amount I put in, I'm willing to lose that. Only invest what you can afford to lose. The same thing as start small. Just start with a little bit, and understand that whatever you start with, you are willing to lose it. Finally, just a tip. For a lot of these sites, you could go on a website called scamadvisor.com to verify whatever sites that you are on. All right. So you could go on scamadvisor.com to verify if a site is a scam site, if it's not a credible site. You could go on Scam Advisor to check it out. Finally, we have reached the end of our presentation. As I said, this is something that we are doing. This is something that we are all about. We are all about the education. We are a crypto media company and an educational community. So that's who CryptoNoobz is. Our goal is to bring 1 million people into the crypto industry to assist with helping people to understand cryptocurrency. Yes, we will be charging for some things, but most of our content and most of our information has been free thus far. We are building out the community, starting here inside the Bahamas, but we very much welcome anyone into our community. We want you guys to understand this and be able to benefit from this industry. So follow us on YouTube. We have our YouTube podcast that I do with my co-founder, Mr. Lamont Astwood, where we talk about crypto. We invite experts in sometimes, and we talk about what's going on inside of the industry. You can check us out on LinkedIn, our Facebook, our Instagram, and even our Twitter. So, with that said, I would just like to thank you all for coming to today's webinar. We would just like to say that cryptocurrency represents more than just an alternative to traditional money. It signifies a shift in how we perceive value, trust, and financial systems. By embracing this digital revolution responsibly, we can unlock a future of inclusivity and efficiency and innovation. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for coming to today's webinar.